Don't tell you it's a 9 to 5. You come to work 7 a.m. You come after 7:30. Your salary is deducted.
But it's a 9 to 5 job.
Brother, there's no 9 to 5 in Nigeria that is not 8 o'clock. The least you come is 8 o'clock.
Can true wealth, sustainable wealth, can it be achieved by the 9 to 5?
No.
What you're saying is very deep. 9 to 5 cannot be completely eliminated in this world. It cannot be completely eliminated. You still have people who still work for people.
Just know your strength. There are people that are made with 9 to 5. So they can't in their best on what someone has said. But there are people that they are creators of the setting. There's something we call dopamine. When our body craves something, we give it. Our body wants this one, we give it. I want to watch video, you give it. I want to chew gum, you give. We like to give into all of those feelings, thereby conditioning our mind to not get accustomed to discipline.
Hello guys, so welcome to my YouTube channel once again. I'm glad to be back to your faces, and today is really an exceptional one because I have somebody in my midst, somebody I love so much, somebody who has blessed my life. I mean, this is why you can like that. This is a friend. I'm really glad to have you here, Miriam. Thank you so very much for being on the show. This is not a reality podcast. This is a full aside, right? In reality podcast, we rounded off season 3 last week, and we'll be starting season 4 in a month's time. But stick to us. Every week, videos will be dropping from me myself on this page every single week. So stay tuned up to my YouTube channel. Do well to turn up the notification button and follow me on what social media platform: Instagram, Williams Evidence; TikTok, Williams Evidence; Spotify, Reality Podcast; YouTube, Williams Evidence. And you can do it to also follow my guest. She's going to introduce herself very soon, and we'll get straight into the conversation. Thank you for joining. Can you tell us your name and who you are, basically?
Okay, thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for being you. My name is Miriam Addison. I am a student entrepreneur. I am a student of University of Port Harcourt, 500 level food nutritionist, and a business owner. Yeah, it is called Middle Treats. So basically, I think I'm also a God lover. So yes.
Okay. I was surprised today. Middle, she got me something. I wasn't expecting this because I was the one who invited her into the show. I wasn't expecting this. She got me her Zobo wine, and it's really, really a nice one. So please do well to patronize her. You can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Middle Wealthy Drinks. Then you can reach her on 09157601205. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
I know I'm going to enjoy it, of course. So let's get straight into the conversation. I think we're going to be talking about something really important, and I will just see how we can flow, right? Because prior to this time, prior to we starting the shoot, we were talking about different things and like different topics. I usually told you that we can shoot like 3 videos from what we spoke about because we touched different things and we didn't even talk about what we were meant to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. So well, let's just go straight to the initial thing that we're going to talk about, which is the hustle culture in Nigeria, the hustle culture in Africa in general. And we've seen how this hustle culture has influenced your people into doing both what is good and what is bad, right? We've seen how the hustle culture has influenced young people, young guys, young girls in the country. And my question is the hustle culture actually influencing us positively? If you want to do a skill, or if you want to put a ration to how much the hustle culture has influenced us, is the negative aspects higher than the positive aspects, or is the positive aspects higher than the negative aspects? That's what this conversation is about today. So what can we say about the hustle culture? Personally, you do business. You started business basically the year at that school, or
My 200 level.
you're 200 level. So how is the hustle culture for you? What is your perspective towards the hustle culture?
Well, if I'm to be sincere, there's actually more negative than positive. This is hustle we're talking about, right? And the fact that it's hustle, it means that there's gonna be a lot of sacrifices, considering the fact where we have to be students and then I still have to do something to make a living. So if I was to scale it, there's positivity where you talk about the profit, and then for people that have growth, where you talk about the growth, but there's still negative sides too.
So are you trying to say that like there's both positive and negative? But for you, what's the ratio of positivity to negativity when it comes to the hustle culture?
Okay, for me, I would say the ratio of positivity to negativity for me now is 2-1.
So positivity outweighs. But what of
Yes.
what of the society at large? Because right now, if we want to look about the main context of hustle in Nigeria, the context of hustle in Nigeria now is not really pointing down to jobs and other things. It's pointing down to doing negative things just to get money, and they also tag it as hustling. So, is the hustle culture also involved in Yahoo? Also involved in hookup? The fact that effort is being made and is being put in and money is being made, it doesn't mean that is hustling.
No, I don't. Anything that's not legal, I don't call it hustle. I mean, hustle is you toiling, sweating to get a means of survival, income. So I don't think you having to fraud someone is hustling. It's illegal. It's fraud. Literally, I don't know what's hustle about that. Yeah, you have to, the energy that you're using to crack your mind and try to hack or do something. For me, I don't think that.
So
That's
so only legit.
yes.
Only legit stuff is
Yes,
hustling. for
yes.
you.
But although in society they've called it hustling, right? They've called it hustling, and if we were to look at it from that angle, then hustling has a negative impact than a positive impact in the society.
Are you a 9 to 5er?
No, I'm not.
Like, do you wish to become a 9 to 5er?
And no, I don't.
So you believe in entrepreneurship, like creating a job for yourself and all of that.
Now, with all due respect to 9 to 5ers, right? Doing a 9 to 5 job is okay, but there are people that space is made for. There are people that there are people that you cannot.
Because the dilemma right now is that people who are 9 to 5er, there are people in podcasts, people in shows talking about people being 9 to 5er. Oh, they are slaves to their boss, they are this to that, da. The issue is that if everyone becomes entrepreneurs, then who is
Also
going
have
to
big
benefit from
work.
them?
So that's why I said there are people that being 9 to 5 is for. I was listening to a podcast where this woman, she wrote a book, I can't remember her name, and she was talking about she wrote a book on 9 to 5. What you should know as a 9 to 5. There's so much in the game of being a 9 to 5. There's game. It's just the way, some bosses behave and the way society puts it. There's nothing wrong in being a 9 to 5, right? But then there are people like me that there are people, you should just know your wiring. I'm thinking every minute. I'm always finding, what can I do now to make myself a better version of myself? So I know if I walk into a space where I have to be a 9 to 5, it's almost going to look like I'm trying to compete with some people, or I'm trying to outshine some people, because I would literally do anything I'm doing with an extra. There's always,
Okay, but right now the question is, if you see an opportunity where you have to work 9 to 5 that pays you far beyond what your current job or what your current skill is paying you, will you venture into it to get some things, to get some grounds?
with what I know, I won't. Why? There's a video I saw that can never leave my mind. It was an illustration of the I don't know the word to use, but the cycle of a 9 to 5. So in that video, a man was put in a circle, And so he was told to stand in that circle. The moment he finished school, he was told to stand in a circle. And then while he was standing there, at some point, at intervals, so a man will walk up to him and come and, give him some dollars and say, this is for standing here, have it. And he'll say thank you and he'll go. And then he'll come back again the next day and come and stand in that point. Now, in that video, every time he stood there, after some time, they will come and give him a particular amount of money. Do you know that this man stood there, and in that video, he kept getting older. So from being a young guy, I saw him grow. Like, I thank God for the way they animated it or they edited it, but I saw him grow to become old. Yeah, I saw him. He was still at that spot. So that video sent a message. He was paid to be standing at that spot, and that man will leave that place and go about his other activities and come back and pay him for standing there and go and continue his other life and come back. And at some point, that guy didn't get to get married. So in that video, when he now got really old and then he had white beards, he was okay. At some point he got married. He didn't got married, and then he still came back to the spot. And so at some point he now started having white beard. And so the man came and gave him a bigger size of money and said, "Take this." Meanwhile, before that time, they told him to walk forward a bit. That meant promotion. And then they added a tip to him. And so at some point the man came and gave him a bigger amount of money and said, "Take, I don't need you anymore. You can go." Now this is what got to me the most. When they released this man to go, he now went to get a skateboard. He has always had it in his mind that he wanted to skate. So he went to get his skateboard and he tried to skate, but now he was old. And because of trying to do that, he fell and he hurt his wrist. And more than the falling, there's a whole lot that happened in my mind immediately. There are people, when you know that you're not, my younger sister tells me that, that business thing is not for me. I admire you, I like your energy, involve me, but she will tell me it's not for me. My roommate will tell me that too. She'll say she just find where she will work. She don't need any. But there are people, when just know your strength. There are people that they are made for that 9 to 5. So they can put in their best on what someone has set. But there are people that they are creators of the setting. You can't. They don't have anything to put in. Sometimes even if you want them to even put in something, they may put in more than what's expected of them. I don't know if you know this lady, Ife. She's the author of Dear Ife on YouTube. No. So her name is Ifendayo Agoro. She got married last year. She had one of the biggest weddings, and she got married at 42. Her first wedding was cancelled on the wedding day. That was bad. Now she was working for a company, and she has been working for years. She worked extra. Always worked extra, so she was always promoted until she got to the level where she couldn't be promoted anymore. And so at some point, she told herself that she had to walk away and go and start something. She started a cosmetic brand. That woman is living in London now. She has a house in London. She has houses in Lagos. She has 1,000 and something staff working for her company. But she was working in 9 to 5, and sometimes she'll come on Facebook or on YouTube and say something she wish she knew earlier. Because she's a creative. She had no business being at the back of someone's desk. Yes, there are some people that in trying to find themselves, because a lot of us, especially with the kind of noise in the country, you can't
lots of voices speaking at the same time.
You can't find yourself from the beginning. So maybe when you're trying to find your foot, you can get involved in the 9 to 5 or something. But when you do, please launch out.
Know when to walk away.
Know when to walk away. There are people that are wired for 9 to 5. I'll say it again and again. But there are people that I just know.
Can someone get wealthy? I don't mean rich, because someone can obviously get rich, but can someone get wealthy? Sustainable wealth, can it be achieved by a 9 to 5?
No.
Wow. What you're saying is very deep.
You can't. Even if you're paying 500,000, you can't.
$1 million, 1.5 million.
You can't. look at what happens when you're working a 9 to 5. You don't know the cost of building something. You don't know the pain of being an entrepreneur and, organizing the system and all. You're just getting your salary. So for the value that I gave for this month, I'm getting my money. Which, yes, according to the latest book or our podcast, yes, 9 to 5 is good, it works. But that money you're getting, the more your salary increases, the more the quality, your standard of living increase as well. So at what point are you going to now come to that you want to now transit to wealth? From where? Because your mind is real. If you're generating income, you're understanding money flow, you're understanding economy and systems and structures, you would get to a point where, my brother, you now know that, oh, this is what's going on, this is how I can make it double, this is how I can triple the event, this is what I can do, this is how I can control the money flow, this is how I can set things, and then that's when you can launch your way into wealth. You can buy land with saving money, doing alcohol, like most of the salary earners. I had the privilege of being close to most of the managers at Seaway when I did my acting, and I saw a whole lot of them, they have to survive by alcohol. You can't save your way into wealth. Because if you're a 9 to 5er, you'll be saving to get wealthy.
Because the only way the money comes in is if
there's a salary. So if they fire you, no, it's just no is the answer.
So basically, one has to know the exact points to walk away. But right now we find ourselves in a country whereby startup is so difficult. I was listening to His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi where he spoke at a church, right? I was listening to it 2 days ago, and he was sharing how Mark Zuckerberg and some other people that started outside the country, that if it was in Nigeria, you can't start.
Yeah.
Because the system is forced to make you suffer. And he shared how he traveled outside the country, like that was some years ago, and he got a loan from the bank, not because of like some capital of anything. The only reason why he released the loan to him was because of his intellect. So they asked him, what do you want to do with the loan? Because he was able to defend it, they released the money to him. But in Nigeria, you bring your mother, you bring your father, you bring documents, mortgage, everything will be collaterals.
Yes, collateral, that's the word.
For the loan you want to get. So the system is forced to bend you. That's why most persons, it may look as though they don't want to start anything.
And the interest is so much.
The interest is very much.
The
interest is very much. You see how they are telling you to pay an interest of 25% in a system that is not working. 25% interest just try to borrow from Open or try to borrow from Pampi. I've seen their interest rates and it's crazy. Because you can't tell me I will borrow 600,000 and in 1 month I'm paying 670 something thousand. How? It doesn't make sense. So you said something that was very, very thick and deep. You can't use sustainable wealth by 9 to 5. But one thing I've understood is that 9 to 5 sometimes brings about exposure. It helps you to connect to certain persons. It helps you to have a level of understanding on how to build for yourself. Most persons also who start on their own, it takes them time for them to be stable. But someone who learns under someone before breaking out, they have more advantage because of experience, because of knowledge and all of that.
Yeah, it's true that 9 to 5, working in some firms, not all, like those ones that send you out, for some research or to represent the company. Yes, some 9 to 5 jobs limit people. Some expose people. I mean, you need to train. Like I attended Young Entrepreneurs Conference this year and the CEO's conference. So that was the name of the event, something. And so while we were there, I saw that Hamrex, the real estate mogul, he brought all of his team Like all of the people working on that, everybody was at the CEO's conference, so that they had to receive the same knowledge as he. You know, the only thing is that he paid for VIP, where he could then secure some extra connections that, you know, in the economy you won't have access to. But then he brought. It's not every company that frontiers. It's not, because 9 to 5. Let's know that there are different classes of 9 to 5. There are 9 to 5s that are, you know, good jobs where you're doing stuff for the company, they're sending you out, they put you on tips and all of that. There's 9 to 5 that, what are people that work in restaurants? That's 9 to 5 now.
Oh my God.
That's 9 to 5. What exposure?
I got
carrying plate and playing table.
I got to review a restaurant 2 years ago, and I noticed that most of those staffs, they were being paid 40,000, 50,000 for working in restaurants, and they work 8 hours in a day, and I paid 40,000. And in my mind, I'm like, how do people go? Because inflation in the country is crazy. Everything is increasing except your salary.
That one used to scatter my head. So fuel increases, gas increases, transportation increases, bills increase, NEPA bill increase, then your salary is still the same. If you even do what you said, they'll even reduce, they'll give you query and reduce it. Tell me which job am I getting from there?
Okay.
Do you get? But it depends on the company. Now, let me bring it to being a CEO. If any CEO, any other, like somebody that's not in 9 to 5 hour, anybody outside 9 to 5 that is intentional about growth, will also you can give yourself exposure.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What do you have to lose from being a 9 to 5? Than the one that you're limited. So I was talking to somebody, and he was explaining how he works from Monday to Saturday.
From Monday to Saturday?
Yes. And so while he was saying that thing, I said calculate, because now I'm learning how to calculate your exact 24 hours to track where every minute goes. So while he was saying that thing, I said calculating. So if this person works, and he was explaining that sometimes he has to come out 7 a.m. They'll tell you it's a 9 to 5, but you come to work 7 a.m. If you come after 7:30, your salary is deducted.
Why?
Because you don't come up to time.
But it's a 9 to 5 job.
Brother, there's no 9 to 5 in Nigeria that is not 8 o'clock. The least you come is 8 o'clock. They come by 7:30. Actually,
that's
so it's not 9 to 5.
There's no 9 to 5 job.
And you know
what? 9 to 5.
There's no 9
it's 8 to 5.
And they don't even close like 5, some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them have to work till 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And so this person will leave his house. So I was calculating. So if this person was young, haven't gotten married yet, wants to settle down, while I was talking with this person that was explaining this story of a part of his life to me, he was saying, I was calculating it. So I wake up in the morning, let's say I woke up by 6, and then I dress up, or let me just say I woke up by 5, and then I dress up by 7, I'm out. I have to leave earlier. So let's say I woke up by 4, because the traffic and all of that. So 4, 5, 6, and then I should be on the way by 5:36. I'm on the way, and then 7:30 I should be at work, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 3 p.m. 16, 17. That's 5 p.m. 18. He said he closed by 7. 19.
My God.
How many hours is that?
That's over 11.
That's 12 hours that's gone. So I was just saying, okay, so in the remaining 12 hours, what will he do? He will not go home 7. Let's say he had hold up, so he go home 7, 8, now 9, 10, 11, 12. This midnight already. Is it in this time he will use and do his laundry, cook, wash his clothes, study,
pray,
make himself a better version, pray.
My
Talk
God.
to the person that he's trying to date,
my God,
or who he's trying to toast or something. With how many hours? Then when will you sleep? When will you wake up again? Cycle.
So most times 9 to 5 is like a trap.
Can I tell you that there are people that this is actually their reality? What I just explained is their reality.
My God.
Like for real, this is their reality. And how much are they being paid for your time? Time that is the greatest currency that everybody has equal of it. Elon Musk has 24 hours that we have.
Yeah.
Why are we different from him? It's because he's separated himself and made the most of his time. But where you are working for someone 9 to 5, which time will you have to review and evaluate yourself periodically? To know if you're growing, if you're not growing, what you should work on, what should you not work on. This is my strength. What attention on. There's a whole lot. This thing,
especially in Nigeria, because a 9 to 5 are out there. The level of opportunities they have is not even compared to what, because you can work in as, I have friends outside the country. You can work in as a 9 to 5 outside, and or a shift job outside, and you are open to certain, let me say, they can give you travel here to go and have experience, because they're not just looking for how much more you can bring in. They understand that the more exposed you are, the more valuable you are to the company.
Yeah.
So they can send you out on a trip to have experience, to go for lecture somewhere or something, so that you can gain knowledge to come back to the company to implement.
Can I tell you what? In Nigeria, most CEOs or most managing directors are even scared to send their people out, because when they give them the exposure and they come back, some of them are not trustworthy, they will leave. Some people are scared to even give them. So what are you gaining from being a 9 to 5?
The question is, why are they leaving? If the system is good enough to retain them and is favorable enough to retain, it's just like a bait. The fish will always eat what is on it. If the company has something tangible enough, they won't leave.
They are good companies, right? And they send some of their people outside. Those people go outside, get exposed. Then now go and see, oh, this kind of job I'm doing here, they are paying more.
Yeah.
They will come back. For people that sent you out, they won't rebel. They won't come and place a demand on they need more money or something. They will come back, and 3 to 6 months they are placing a resignation letter. They want to, because they've seen that they pay better there, they want to leave. So there are people that it's not even about the system or the favorableness of the bait or something. Somebody sent you out to go and get. That's what most Nigerians do. They send them out to go and get exposed. They get exposed, come back and rebel who exposed them.
I think that the subject of 9 to 5 is actually a very broad subject, because when we're talking about 9 to 5, we are not just looking at it based on the topic 9 to 5. 9 to 5 applies to geographical positioning. 9 to 5, although it's still the same thing, but where you're positioned, the place you are, the company you are fighting, and you're naive, is also critical, right? Now the issue is that, as you said, it's not everybody that's carved out for 9 to 5. But there are people who they just feel that they need to work under somebody. They feel good when someone catches a vision and they run with it.
You know what's called, phlegmatics.
Yeah.
It's a personality type.
trait.
So most of these people are phlegmatics.
Phlegmatics.
And actually, that's why the Bible says that, yes, the vision is for an appointed time, but He would always give us men to support whatever we want to do. So let's take, for instance, where what's it called? Most spiritual assignments or missionary assignments, churches, startups that eventually grow. I don't think they do everything by themselves.
No.
From our founder, Pastor George is the one. He doesn't do everything. He has people that bought into this vision, and he said, "Don't let pastors here."
No,
And we also have pastors that couldn't be pastors here, and then were sent out to be pastors in other branches, because those people could be creative enough to.
Yeah.
And some people are creative enough, but they rather be under somebody.
Yeah.
So everybody should understand you. These fingers, they're not equal. Understand you. Understand what you can do. Understand who you are. I feel like they should even start adding it to educational curriculum.
Exactly.
Of understanding who you, yes, it should become a course,
It
because
shouldn't just become about mathematics and English and all of that.
I'll
Find
keep
Y, find X.
keep finding X.
Since you have been finding X since you are not seeing where X is.
Nah,
And you having more X added to your life.
I feel like it's better we have that as a course, because if we can. Recently, I heard it, repeatedly in this June that passed. Education, the real word, it was taken out from educo. Educo is to put someone in an environment that will help the person to bring out the potential the person carries. That is actually what the real design for educational system is.
So it shouldn't just be focused on a structured system. It should be focused on a narrow system based on the personality of the person.
Yes, like while you're here to learn, while understanding your strength. I don't know if you know, but there are some teachers that will just see something and say, this guy should not be a student. Come to me business. And they'll try it, and this person that was a dollar will just speak up. So educational system is for you to be somewhere that can nurse you, observe you, nurture you, and ignite that life on your inside.
So basically, they are not dollars. They are just people who are not in the right place.
Yes, they are not dollars. I don't believe that they are dollars. Nobody is dumb. Nobody. That person has not just come to the environment of his strength. Nobody is dumb.
Yeah. So, but how can one leverage on 9 to 5 in Nigeria? How do you think one can leverage? Because when I like it or not, startups in Nigeria, everyone I see you. I was talking to a friend of mine. When was that? I was like, everybody see you. Everybody now want to start something, which is very good.
I've been thinking about it a lot.
Which is very good. Everybody want to start. Everybody want to pioneer something. Everyone want to start off something. Everyone want to have something that he himself found and all of that, but it's still, we can't say take the fact that 9 to 5 cannot be completely eliminated in this world. It cannot be completely eliminated. We will still have people who will still work for people, right?
It will not.
It will not what?
It won't be eliminated.
It will not. It cannot, and it will not be eliminated. But the issue now is that how can one leverage on the 9 to 5? Even in just like you said, there are people who are really, it's as though the job has stopped their life. Work for me and don't do any other thing. It's just like we are in a toxic relationship, right? Because I am dating you, don't talk to any other girl outside. If I see you talk to any other girl outside, I will. It can question our relationship. So the 9 to 5 job is like, work for me, don't start up any other job outside. Or even though you start, I won't give you the time to focus on that job. Work for me. Any other area of your life should just be on pause. So how can one leverage on the time that he has? As I said, we're talking about how you can calculate time for your friend and all of that. How do you do that? And how do you think one can leverage on 9 to 5?
Okay, so this is where I'm going to also bring myself in the picture. So there's something I do. I would intentionally write out the whole time on the clock on a long line of paper, and then I'll start grouping it to know where my time went. And then at some point,
intentionality.
Yeah, like I'll start drawing it. I'll just find that okay, from 2 to 6 I slept. So I slept for 4 hours. I'll just bring down the arrow and I'll write it. If you can do that thing for 1 week, you know where your time makes to.
Cool.
If we can do that thing, you just find that okay, a lot of us are busy, but
they're not productive.
They're not too sure for your business. And by the time I linked it, I found that I was saying I don't have time, but I have time to be talking to people. Me, I have time to, like, this one needs advice, check on. Like, I have time to be there for everybody, but not myself. And so, after doing that thing, I did that thing for a week.
So your time was extrinsic, not intrinsic.
Yes, it was leaking for the nation. So I had to, start tracking that and start monitoring it. And then at some point, I then took a course, met someone, nano ideas, and paint. I did mine and started taking trainings where he says, down to your production, write out how How many minutes does it take to do this production? This production? How many minutes for everything? Let us know the details of how many hours we need to do it. Let us know the details of every second.
You know, people might see this as stress.
That's the problem. You know what I found out? While a lot of people want to be CEOs, they don't know and have. There's something about the brain. It's not always used. So our brain is used to. Let me use the example. I've spoken to people and I said, why don't you try reading this book? Oh, I'm always, every time you're talking to me, there's a book I'm always on. I just finished Purpose Review, like, I am on a book called Beyond Signed Out. So, every time if I'm not reading a book, there are videos in my YouTube that I downloaded. There's podcasts. There should be something I'm listening to that's one way or the other. There's something new added to my head. Now, Nigerians, let me not even say Nigeria, but human beings.
Yeah.
There's something we call dopamine. So we like to give into when our body craves something, we give it. Our body wants this one, we give it. I want to watch a video, you give it. I want to chew gum, you give. So we like to give into all of those feelings, thereby conditioning our mind to not get accustomed to discipline. Discipline is supposed to be a basic thing. So when
it's supposed to be a basic thing.
It's supposed to be a basic
Come
thing.
on.
And so when people come into my space, they say, are you not doing so much? Sometimes I even feel like I'm doing so much. Because when I look at other people, I look at myself, I'm not a guy. But I think that all of these things came up as a result of conditioning my mind. This is not about how I just like to do things about how they feel. Small thing, when someone is everything small thing is how they feel. Every small thing. I tell somebody, please, why are you not reading? Do you read self-development books? Do you it's not my thing.
It's not my thing.
Thing
is nobody's thing.
It's really
nobody's thing actually.
Like, come on. Like, why will I carry my phone now?
Jesus
Open
Christ.
news, open YouTube, and
It's
be watching
nobody's thing.
how to be a better version. It's not like even my body will not feel like doing it.
I was telling some person last Sunday, I said that the body is used to repel stress.
Yes.
Anything that will make you look as though you're stressing your body repels it. You are the one to tell yourself, I will condition my body to take this. It's nobody's thing.
So they don't like that. But then they like the glamour of who is a CEO and who is not a CEO and all of that. Now, this is what I like to think. Now that we have parents.
Yeah.
Recently, I've seen myself imagining a lot of times what my parents were like when they were younger. Like, I mean, university days, what was university like? It may have been old-fashioned, it may have been old-schooled, but in the few studies and surveys and things I've been watching, it still was happening now that happened in that time. The only thing is that it's happening at a civilized level. Yeah. So it's digitalized. But it's still what was happening that time. There was cultism that time. There's cultism now. It's not that now they're not killing and bringing out God because police will hold you. Right? So it's not as a cake as it was, but those things are still there. What am I trying to say? The way that this whole everybody wants to be a CEO, this thing existed that time. Eventually. Somebody say eventually. People that know that this thing, they cannot do it, they will leave it. People that don't want to own up to that truth would remain in mediocrity. People that will come to understand that working for someone else is their thing will still come to be it. Because now, check the people that are nice to, all people that are having startups, all people that are still in our 20s. Around time. When I see some, I asked the lecturer, did you want to be a lecturer? He says no. And then he explained his story of his life. He started the first business, he failed. He started the second one, so with time, he knew where he was supposed to be. He became a lecturer. And he's doing so well. Yeah. So well. He has being a lecturer, he has released books. He has come to international spaces, but this is not what he could do when he was starting business. So, I believe that everybody give them time. Now, everyone wants to be a CEO. Everyone wants to be a boss of their own. Everyone wants to own something. Give it time. Those that know, it will show. My pastor used to say, you can't fake growth. You can't fake, no matter how you try. If you're growing, it will show.
Just show.
If you're not growing, it will show. And then, because of these dopamine feelings Nigerians have, they don't like telling themselves the truth. Do you realize that even with how bad economy is in this country, that the clubs, the bars,
My God!
the hotels,
Jesus
they
Christ!
are still being full?
Jesus Christ!
But
My
everyone
God!
is bad. Everyone is suffering.
No, the economy is bad. The economy is bad. Yeah,
But yet,
that beer is still being consumed
Yes.
on a regular.
yet, alcohol, like partying is still on A game.
Some places are still doing this was ever.
Or there, that's it. Why? Because we want to give in to what we feel. So right now, a lot of people are on the, hype. Like I said, society has a way of putting pressure on people. Some people are not just peer pressure. Some people are societal pressure. Like, it's their own pressure for society. Yeah. So, because there are still people around them, this one don't get perfume business, this one don't get perfume business, this one don't get shoe business, this one don't get... So, everybody is doing something. You too want to do something.
So how can one know that he's carved out for entrepreneurship or he's carved out for 9 to 5? Because is it that everyone has an inbuilt business in person or something? As you said, phlegmatics, they're the ones who are really likely to delve into 9 to 5, right? But how can one know that, okay, I'm really made to start something? And how can one be consistent? You now have been consistent over time. How did you do that? What are the things you did? What were the connections you have to, like, you put in place to ensure that your business is still standing to today, right? We want to share some things about your business, some things that happened this past month. But how did we get to that point where your business is right now? That even you may be to different states. How did we get to that point? How can one know that, okay, I am meant to start this? And before, how can you find out what they are meant to start and be consistent in it?
Okay. So for different people, there are different ways to discover. But every way still boils down to one thing. Whether you feel like or not, try. Try. Evaluate yourself. Sit down. Try this thing. The way I did this thing, how was it? This person I sit down here, when I was 12 years, I started sewing. I'll still go back to my sewing when I'm not at school. But when I was 12, I started sewing. At 14, I tried crocheting. At 15, I was baking.
That's right.
At 16, I was working in a salon. So I worked in a salon. I worked somewhere else too. Just to try. You're young. Don't limit yourself. Me, I'm still going to try so many other things. But it's in you trying that you will find what you're wired to do. But what we do is we're lying our scrolling TikTok. We're listening to motivational speeches on how to find ourselves, and then we are doing nothing with what we're hearing.
Come on!
Try something. Stand up. Try something. When you try something, evaluate it. The way I did this thing, did I do it well? Did I not do it well? Can I do this thing better? Can I not do this thing better? Should I do this thing? Should I not? It's simple. But because of the brain work, the stress that it comes with thinking, we don't like thinking. Just maybe just create road, maybe they go.
So basically, one doesn't have to feel it. Just start anything.
Try. So there's somebody I love so much and I listen to. She's called Mrs. Ibokun Awoshikan.
I think I've heard of.
Yeah, she's currently coming in the air now, viral.
Yeah.
So this lady is the first chairman of First Bank, Nigeria, right? She was working in First Bank. I don't know if she's still working there, but I know that she has a company in Italy now, a furniture company. She had to buy the company because then she was a middleman, so she would buy from them. At some point, they wanted to sell the company, and then she bought the company. When I was listening to the story of her life when she was younger, she wrote JAM and took some courses, but in the total enter school and come out that she did was 5. She entered industrial chemistry 1 year. It did not suit her. She came out.
Oh.
She entered law. She said it did not suit her. She came out. That's what she did until she did mass communication. I'm not saying people should go and try with their jam or something, but let it be that there's an effort you're making. I like to say the church is the best place to. That's the freest place. It's the cheapest place to explore and evaluate yourself. Try serving in drama department, serve in culture, serve here. Serve in so many places so you're able to find yourself. Be intentional that I'm doing all this because I'm trying to find myself.
Yeah.
I knew that I liked to talk, but I didn't know that I loved talking. Like I didn't know that it's something I'll do effortlessly until I started time tracking. That's why I said, you think you actually talk in a day more than any other thing you do. Right? So I didn't know that I liked talking that much. I had no idea. Because in my house, when I'm talking, they say you talk too much for a lady. So I shut up my mouth. I'm very quiet. You get? And so I come outside and people say, oh, he was good listening to you. He was good listening to who exactly? This and at some point, then thank God for my pastor. He now intentionally says, when you come, take what the ones that they just walk and say, you're gonna preach in service today. It happened. We just did it. And I'm like, wow, the way you did that. And then so you come out and say, you're going to anchor a relationship program. I mean, now this is me trying to be an MC, trying to be a preacher. Then you're leading ladies, try to talk to them. I'm learning how to, engage conversation. Yeah. I'm learning how to anchor questioning. So I'm trying different things at the same time.
And because you're even doing this and you know how to relate with people, if you eventually have a company of your own outside the church, since you're good with relational skill and the church has helped you sharpen that particular skill, it will be easy for you to relate with your business partners and everybody out there.
Very simple. So, being flexible for those that are Christian, anywhere you see yourself that you can offer something to serve, try. There's no harm. Nobody dies from trying.
The easiest or the fastest route to self-discovery is volunteer.
Yes. It's volunteer. Because if you want to sit down and evaluate yourself, what do you even know about yourself that you want to evaluate?
Come on. Yeah.
We by the older we get, we're trying to understand ourselves. We're trying to discover ourselves. What was your favorite color when you were younger? I saw what's your favorite color now.
I tell you.
What is your favorite?
Pink was my favorite color. Pink.
Are you serious?
My God.
That was red, but currently it's white.
So white and black is my favorite color now. White and black.
And I feel like anybody that 20 is now like black and white. So literally, what you wear and what you are now is not the same. So while you are growing and you don't yet have enough knowledge you need to evaluate yourself, and you don't also know how to use AI to evaluate yourself,
my God. Please
volunteer everywhere. Save.
Volunteer.
Just try out different things. And that one where I wanted to bring in my story. So I'm not going to say story, but I'm going to try because I don't want to stop long. But when I started this stuff I was in year 2. I was in year 2. This was the storyline of my life by that time. When I started, we had classes 8 to 5. And then by 5, I would go to church. I was in 5 units in church and 4 fellowships at the time. So I was culture, evangelism, welfare, prayer, drama, janitors. In fellowship, I was in anything they were doing, I was there. I would just open up and just do anyone that they were doing, right? And why I was doing all these things, because of all the events, like 5 units, 4 fellowships. So it meant every day I had to be in church. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only day I don't have vigil is Saturday. But every other day, I had vigils after the evenings, after the 5 p.m. Because each of the department that I was in had either a vigil rehearsal or the fellowship I was in had a vigil prayer or something. And I had to be there. So while I'm waiting after the evening service, I'll then be reading something or I'll read what they taught me in class because there was no sleep in 1 year. And when we are doing all of these things, I'll just read it within that 2-time window and then we'll start to rehearse out. And then when we rehearse, we may get to 2 a.m. and then we'll sleep. And then some people will rehearse till 4 a.m. By 4, I'm going to the hostel. I'm starting production. There was no sleep. It was not good at the time, but there was just myself I was trying to find. There was a part of me I felt was inside the shell. Yes, that had to come out.
To break out.
Yes, I like there was. I needed to so I was just laying my hands on every and anything. So that's another thing. It's one thing to want a good life. It's another thing to be sure you really want it. Because we admire people that have good things, like you're growing, you're doing well. I come here, I see you have a laptop, you have a power bank, you have an earphone, you have a car key, you have, good dressing. Then I'm wishing to look like you. I don't know what you do to get what you do, what you have. I don't know what you did. How willing are we to get? I have a friend that I'm like, she's like, she always believes that I know what I'm doing. That's why she doesn't like to question me and all that. I said, please, sometimes ask me questions.
You don't know.
Don't assume. I don't know everything. And then she's not like that. She too wants to grow. Okay, you want to grow. One thing that I do, read book. If I give her to she'll scream. She'll just do the book. She'll literally just bring out the grades. She just like, I say read book. She'll tell me book that I use 2 months I read. She'll finish up in 3 days.
Shows that you are interested in something is the level of effort you're willing to put into get that thing.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. So, and then I had in mind too again that there was no option B. I mean, I didn't have a choice. Daddy wouldn't want to see his girl so and school. To him, it was going to be a distraction. So I understood he was trying to protect me, but I also knew that a part of me wanted to try different things. In my head, one of the missions I had, where in the journal I wrote down when I wanted to start, was I wanted to understand how money worked, because my dad was giving me money. But I wanted to understand money. I wanted to understand how money worked. So you could not see the effort, because I wanted to understand how money works. That's why I said something. Imagine that I didn't have interest. None of us ever have interest in anything. So imagine I didn't have interest in understanding how money works. I don't think there will be me there today. And then it was because of that, then I got the option of, okay, start this beverage stuff. And what look like a joke now is by the day it gets bigger. Sometimes I look at this and my mind is skipping. Are you sure? What if this is now they meet you from trying other things and all of that? Well, at that point, it was me not sleeping. It was me trying every possible thing. It was me having it in my mind that there was no option B. No turning back. I either make this thing work
or I make
it work.
No way. It must work.
Oh, there's no way. Because there's no way. There's no way. That's what I just kept saying. There's no other way to look back to. So this has to work. So that made me to keep re-evaluating. How can this work? Why is it not working? Okay, I'm selling this stuff. What make people not to buy? How can I make people to buy? What should I do? And then, because of this whole schedule, I still had a goal to still do in my school. That's where balance comes in. So for any 9 to 5 that really wants to grow something else, there should be a drive enough in you to start with the time you have allocated to you. So I worked at Seaway. For 1 year, I did my IT there, and I took time to study the people that worked in the offices and people that worked in the factory. You have time, even in the time you're working for somebody.
Exactly.
Why you're
Especially if you're an office worker.
Yes. Why you're sitting down in that office? You are not working like the whole time hours you're there. You're not working through.
There are some lapses of time.
Yes. So if anybody intentional about growth,
actually
can actually stay where you are
and grow
and be doing something else while you're doing your work.
It's more like a privilege actually now.
Yeah. So it's back again to what the mind. How many minds are willing to let go of dopamine and think?
The thing is, What I would say is that if you're looking at going into 9 to 5, or if you're already in 9 to 5 and you actually want to do very well and compete in a very large scale, you should be willing to put in more effort than the people who are not even going 9 to 5. That means you will give up sleep, you will stress yourself.
Exactly.
You will come back by 5 or by 6 and you'll be awake till 12. And you will still leave for work in the morning by 5. And I said, the proof that you actually want something is the effort you are willing to put into that thing to get that thing. So if you say I want to get wealthy, even working 9 to 5, I want to do this, I want to do that. What is the effort you're putting in? You can't tell me that you want to be rich and yet you don't have any understanding on how to manage wealth. You're not willing to read books, but you want to hold the money. So how will you hold the money?
As I said, give everybody time. All these startups also.
I saw a book, I was reading Psychology of Money. I kept the book. I wasn't understanding. And I saw a book with two Fridays ago at the bookshop. What rich people invest in. I said, first of all, understand that unless in a very large scale, there are some businesses that cannot give you millions.
Yeah.
There are some businesses that will not give you millions. What are these rich people doing? Elon Musk is not selling pop-off. Elon Musk is not selling this. There are some businesses that will not give you millions. Understand what these rich people are investing in. Understand what they're investing in, and automatically you will know where to place your money. That's how it works. But people are not willing to learn.
Yeah.
People are not willing to even read books. They just feel that
work, but they want the glamour to come.
They feel that the grace of God will make everything about them.
Let's not go there. That thing's to pay me. Let's not go there. Like this is why I tell people. Jesus Christ. Let me clean my face. Jesus Christ. God sent his son, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus died for us.
Yeah.
After Jesus died, God said, I have sent you Holy Spirit since Jesus have ascended. Now you pray in the name of Jesus and you have the Holy Spirit to be your comforter, counselor, advocate, intercessor, strengthener, and helper. And then he now says, I've not only given you Holy Spirit now in Jesus' name, I have given you the word. That this word should be a light to your path and a lamp to your feet. Then he did not just give us the Holy Spirit, Jesus, and the word. He also gave us dominion. That I've given you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions. He did not also give us that. He gave us understanding. The breath of the Almighty giveth understanding. He gave us understanding. So now you have Jesus, the Word, the Son, the blood. You still have God. You still have God of God. You still have opportunity to bring prayer points. You still have covenants. You still have
the grace is available.
The grace. He said, come to my throne of grace and mercy and obtain in times of need. So we still have grace. We still have mercy. Please, God is not owing anybody anything.
God is not owing anybody anything.
If we fail, it's because we chose to fail.
Yeah.
We still have somebody that called us deputy God. He took us, made us in his own image, and said, you rule. I made you in my image. You are my representative. So you rule. As a God ambassador, any ambassador that's sent, he said in his word, he said, I've given you everything you need.
Everything.
He said, I've given to you all that pertains to life and godliness. So you have all of these things. Then you tell me that you sit down and expect wells to fall down and by the grace of which God.
This thing is.
Please. You will still be broke and God. You still be broke and God will still be God.
You will be broke and God will still
be God. And what people still calling on him?
And you will be broke. You will serve and be broke and God be God. You will think God failed you and you will curse God. You will go to hell and God will still be God. Many people have cursed God. You're not the first. There are people that they don't feel that God should do everything for them.
I hear
especially in the church. When God created man, he created everybody. So everybody you see on this planet Earth is created by God. The dominion that was given to both sinners and the people who are Christians today. And this is why most unbelievers, they understand this concept of walking in the principles of God
Than the person of God.
than the person of God. Most Christians, they are walking in the person of Christ, but the principles are neglecting it. The principles of God, both believers and unbelievers can get the best out of life just by obeying the principles. What the person of Christ gives us is an advantage. So we are meant to have dominion even more than the unbelievers, but we are seeing the unbelievers doing so well. Why? Because they understand the principles. Principles work whether you're a believer or not. If you sow seed today, if a farmer sows seed today, whether the person is a Christian or not, that plant will still grow.
Yeah, and you reap whatever you sow.
And you will still reap whatever you sow.
Corn you sow,
My,
you reap
oh
corn.
my God.
So if you reap not growing, if you reap not reading books, if you sow
Oh
not
my
reading,
God.
if you sow not thinking better, if you sow not evolving, you will reap an unevolved
See,
life.
I was telling someone
think-
this podcast not too long. I was telling someone 2 Fridays ago, I said that when it comes to relational skills, relating with people, how to manage your emotions and all of that, you know, people can be so tuned into Adulam that there are some emotions they feel, or there's a way they relate to people. They feel that when they go to the altar and they pray, that the Lord will help them manage their emotions. The Lord will make them, teach them how to relate with people. Meanwhile, God has given people the understanding to write books about those things, that you can go and read those things. But in their mind, they might feel that I'm not really a relationship person. I'm not like reading about these things. I'm not like, when you go to God to ask for wisdom on how to handle these things.
Do you know I told somebody
Jesus Christ.
I told somebody to read a book about marriage because he was explaining how it wasn't working and all that, but that he found peace with me. So I said, "What do you think about reading?" You know what he said? Why would I read a book that my fellow human being wrote?
That's the mind, people. That's the mind that people have. And recently, there was something that you, I posted on my status, the write-up, and then I saw the meme, the picture write-up of it on your status today. It was where Donald Trump was saying, if Christians don't get involved in politics, the politics don't remove them from Christians
To no longer be their rights.
because the truth, you see, every time this conversation,
Medium, guys. Medium.
every time that this conversation brought up, there's this anger, there's something that stirs up inside of me, honestly speaking.
Yeah.
And it's that, you are a Christian. God expects, that is that we're calling on God for. He expects you to handle it. And then we are busy calling on Him to come and fix what He has told you to take care of.
Okay.
And then while we are doing that, you want to say something?
No. You just entered.
While we are doing that, things are spoiling where they are. I had a heavy pain. I was talking to somebody, I said, in the 7 mountains of influence, you would barely see a Christian. If you would see a Christian at all, he was the one that had to bend their identity. Why? Something happened. So while we are taking in for the depends on the angle of Christianity you're coming from. If it is Pentecostal, the religion, Pentecostal, Catholic, Orthodox, it depends on what you're coming from. But while people were giving us their encounters, many people did not explain how. They didn't teach you how they walked through some disappointment. They didn't teach you how they walked through some things with God. They didn't teach you how they fell and rose again. They only told you the Kairos moments. They only told you the part where the Lord said and the Lord appeared and I did. They didn't tell you the background story. You said did not even ask. Now you know what happened? People then start moving and they are now seeking for just those encounters without using their common sense. They are now seeking just those encounters without understanding. When they now fall, they get disappointed. And you see somebody that was once
Bonnie, I have a problem with some of my friends. You know, I have a lot of senior friends. When they were coming out of school,
Miriam, hold on. Hold on. Let's end this episode here. We'll do another one on this. We'll need to record on this. So please, guys, just in case you're watching this, just know that the next week after this video drops, you're going to see another one. Yeah. I mean, we are recording after now. Like we are recording after now on this subject, right? So we are still getting the same clothes. We're not changing. So I'm telling you ahead of time that we are recording on the same day. Like no. So stay tuned. We'll end it here. We want to continue this conversation. Join us in the next video, right? So we have to end this. We have to end this right now. Thank you so much for joining us on this special episode. I'm really excited. Like the whole conversation to another. I told you it will never enter 30 minutes. It's more than 30 minutes, I know.
yeah.
So please, can you say your social media handles so they can reach out to you?
Okay, on Instagram and TikTok we are Medial Treats. On Facebook we are Medial Wealthy Dreams, and WhatsApp we are still Medial Treats. So yeah, I'll see you.
Alright, so do want to follow me also on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube at Miriam's Evidence, and I'll see you next week. Have a nice time. Join the next video. Bye.